Your article, great article here. It starts out by citing a meeting between with Continental Resources Harold Hamm and an Oklahoma seismologist in 2013. So what exactly transpired in this meeting between the two?
Sure. So in November 2013, Austin Holland, who is the state seismologist for Oklahoma, gets a request to have coffee with Harold Hamm, the billionaire founder of Continental Resources, which is one of Oklahoma's largest oil and gas companies. The request came from David Boren, who is the president of the University of Oklahoma, which houses the Oklahoma Geological Survey, which is where Holland works. During this meeting, Hamm basically asks Holland to be very careful in making a connection between the wastewater disposal and the earthquakes that are rattling the state. We know this because of emails that we've FOIA'd from Holland. In those emails, he's writing to colleagues saying he's nervous about it, and in subsequent interviews we've had with him, he's telling us that yes, Hamm did ask him to be careful in discussing this link. And he was subsequently very careful in the next few months about making that link. Okay,
very careful about making that link. Well, Continental Resources, as you know, Matt, refutes this account. They say, quote, the insinuation that there was something untoward that occurred in those meetings is both offensive and inaccurate. This is according to a Continental Resources spokesperson. So what, I mean, you know, your findings, and as you just mentioned, say otherwise. So what's your take on this statement from Continental Resources?
Sure. So a month before Holland met with Hamm, he actually had an additional meeting with state regulators and another executive at Continental Resources, both of whom are saying that they're very nervous about this connection, that they don't want this to be discussed publicly. This trove of emails that we FOIA'd also has lots of examples of industry trade groups emailing Holland directly and asking him to water down language, making this connection. Oil and gas really is the dominant industry in Oklahoma. It's responsible for 1 in 5 jobs. It has huge political clout. So this is something that industry for the past couple years has exerted a lot of influence on trying to tamp down.
So let's back up a minute, Matt. I mean, tell us exactly the link, though, between disposal of the wastewater and horizontal fracking and how that is linked to seismic activity. Explain that process to us.
Right. So this new fracking boom that has taken off in the past few years, these new horizontal wells that are drilling into shale produce vast amounts of wastewater. This is salty, toxic water that's been trapped in these rocks for millions of years, along with this oil and gas. And in a lot of cases with these new wells, you're getting way more water than you are oil and gas. We're talking tens, hundreds of barrels of water for every 1 barrel of oil. You have to put it somewhere. In Pennsylvania, for example, where they're doing a lot of natural gas drilling, they recycle, they reuse it. In Oklahoma, they dispose of it. They put it down these disposal wells that inject it deep, about a mile underground. And it's this water over the past few years that scientists believe is kind of lubricating these faults that are beneath the ground in Oklahoma, reducing the friction that's kept these faults from slipping and causing them to slip in the past couple years.
All right, Matt, thank you so much for bringing us that story for us. Fascinating, fascinating story on Oklahoma. Matt Phillips in Washington for us.